Hi, Matt with etrailer. Today we're going to be talking the Gustafson LED light fixture. Now this is going to be a great option for you if you're looking for something to be a little bit more minimalistic and you're looking for a really bright light. So let's check it out. So we have a ton of different light options here at etrailer. Now this one's going to be a really nice option because there's not a lot going on with it, so you don't have to worry about it taking up a lot of space. And something else that's really nice is since this is an LED light, it is going to last a long time and it gives us a really bright light today. Now with this type of design, we're not going to have any hard light or any type of weird spotting from the light on our table. So that's something I do appreciate. I think that is because of the design to the bottom of it. Now when it comes to the design of the fixture, we are going to have this more matte black finish. It is slightly textured. I think in most homes this is going to look fairly nice, but you don't have to worry about any type of other fixtures like a shade on here that also match with the setup of your RV. Now it is going to have a very warm light to it. That's something I appreciate because it just kind of makes the inside of your RV feel a little bit more homey. Another reason why I like this is, like I was saying, the size is fairly small, so I'll get a measurement of the total height. That's going to be a little bit over 7 inches. So that's really compact when I compare to other options out there. And the base itself is going to be around 5 inches. The light itself, though, is very narrow. So this is something that's really not going to get in the way. So if you are getting up and down a lot, you don't have to worry about bumping your head on that. Now, another thing to think about is what it's going to be like to live with. So this will turn on with the rest of your lights. But if you ever just want to turn this light and keep everything else on, since it is pretty bright, you can just press this button at the top, it shuts off, and you can already tell there's a big difference without the light and with the light on. So this will be perfect if you want to sit down, enjoy a meal with your family, or play a card game or board game. When it comes to the installation, it's going to mount up like any other type of fixture that we have, but if you want some more tips and tricks, we do talk about that during the process. I do recommend just making sure you cut off power here so you don't shock yourself. First, we want to start off by taking off our old light fixture. So in our case today, it's kind of hard to reach. So I'm just going to grab a smaller ratchet with a bit on the very end of it and remove it this way. I'd recommend also keeping the hardware to this because the kit we have today doesn't come with any hardware. So you're probably going to have to reuse this. If this hardware is damaged, I'd recommend just picking some extra up so you can install your light fixture. Really just 2 screws for most of them. We're going to have these wire nuts that are already on here. Sometimes these aren't going to be on there, so we're lucky enough that we can reuse this. If you don't have any on here currently, then you can pick some up. Now sometimes you'll have this type of style. This is going to be something you'll have to cut off or break off, and those aren't recommended to reuse. So if you have the wire nuts, you'll be good to go. Our original light did have 2 bulbs on it, so we had an extra wire in the equation. All I did was just cap this off with a wire nut and some electric tape, so we should be good to go. Now we can put our new light fixture up there. And we are going to have our power and ground here, and typically you're just going to match that up to the corresponding colors that we have at the very top. Again, just make sure you don't have power connected yet, because we don't want to shock ourselves. And with this being a smaller fixture, this is relatively easy to connect right now. I still wouldn't recommend securing or having the wire just hold up the fixture because you still could damage something. And then we'll connect our black wires now. Once we have these both connected, then we can move on to connecting our wire nuts. This can still be a little bit awkward to do with one hand, so if you have a friend, that will go a long way. There we have it. And with these wire nuts, these are just going to screw on there until it feels pretty snug. And then we can do a little light test to make sure we have everything properly working. Now that I got power connected and we're good to go, I'll test it out. We're looking good. I like to check that before I mount it up there just in case I run into a problem later on and I don't have to take it off again. So we'll just stick those wires in there. grab our screw, and when we're checking this, we want to make sure we're not going to make contact with any of those wires because we could damage something. There we have it. We're not making contact with anything, so I can start screwing this into place now. And once you have that connected, that's pretty much it. If you guys have any other questions, let us know here at etrailer. And again, I'm Matt, and thanks for watching.